What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason with JCS Reefing, and in this video we are going to add some mangroves to the 15-gallon Innovative Marine tank. Now if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get notified of future videos. Now this tank has been up and running for a little while. I wanted to let everything get established and everything is doing pretty well. The hammer, I actually just cut off some dead spots, which is why it's not fully open right now. That's still kind of battling its way back, but as far as everything else seems to be fully open. So I figured now would be a good time. I had some mangroves acclimating more towards the saltwater side. And my plan is to actually put them into this 3D printed box that I made and put some pond matrix in the bottom, a little bit in the bottom, put the mangroves in here, and then filled this pretty much close to the top, just leaving enough space to put some carbon or filter floss if I need to. So this will sit right in this first chamber and the mangroves will come out, and then I bought a clip light to go on this side of the tank and come over and to light the mangroves. So the first step of business to get the mangroves from the acclimation bucket that I have in the garage and putting them in this little DIY type 3D printed box that I made. So let's go do that now. So here are the mangroves that I purchased. These have been out here for a little while, so they are struggling a little bit, which I figured would be a great time to actually get them in the tank. I have been dosing some Neo-Nitro and actually Kato Grow from Brightwell Aquatics, just to help keep some of the nutrients up in the tank, or in this bucket I should say. I've just had a heater and a small pump running this for about a couple weeks now, and just to keep a little bit of flow inside the water. There is sand in the bottom of this bucket right here, as you can see, and then they're just being lit by a grow, basically a T5 grow light above it. So my plan is to basically take them, put them with the roots, put a little bit of pond matrix in here in the bottom, put the mangrove roots in the bottom, then fill it up with some of the pond matrix just to give the roots some stability. That's what I did in my big tank and it seemed to work pretty decent. And then I put some rubble rock and stuff on top of them. So let's do that now. Now once I got the mangroves pretty much in here, you can see that there's holes on the side that I can pull this out if they're not doing well and move them to my main display. But there's also holes that are actually good because the roots can actually grow out of the sides of these. And then you can see the pond matrix that goes down in the bottom. And all that kind of does is just help keep the plant pretty sturdy, and also gives it something for the roots to kind of bond to. A lot of people use sand, which obviously is probably a better substrate. But for me, I run a bare bottom tank, so putting a sand in the back of a little 15-gallon tank would be pretty tricky because I want to make this tank as easy as possible for maintenance. So as far as myself, I can just pull this out if they're not doing well, take them out, move them to my big display, and go from there. But we'll see how they do. I've never done it in a nano tank. I've only ever done it on my big main display, which those are actually doing really well, as you can see. And yeah, so they're going to start with 3. There's still plenty of room at the top for some filter floss or some carbon if I need to. And yeah, all that's left is to get them in the tank and hook on the clip light that I bought. Now as far as putting it in the tank, it's pretty simple. This is just going to drop into this chamber here. And the pond matrix will also help with some of the beneficial bacteria. As you can see, there's still some room. There we go. Still some room to put some carbon. Right now I just have carbon floating in this bag back here. But some carbon, some GFO to kind of help with some nutrients. But these will also help take some of the nutrients out of the water. So I'm hoping that I can just put a light on this, which is the next step, and just kind of let this tank rise, and then hopefully they'll grow like they have been growing in my main display. So let's get the light on the tank and take a look. As far as the light for the mangroves, it is nothing fancy. I'm starting out very simple, and I'm going to see if 2 strips of these is going to be enough. Basically, these are just lights that I purchased off of Amazon. They're grow lights, basically with a clip on the end, but they do have some red LEDs in there, as you can see, some soft white, some bright white, and then also a clip on the side that I can just clip it on the tank. It does come with this little timer that you can do, I believe 4 hours, 8 hours, or 12 hours. It does have intensity, brightness, and you can also run one light if you want to. So nothing fancy with the light. We're gonna see if this works. If it's not enough light, I'm basically gonna start with a 12-hour timer at nighttime. But if it's not enough light, I can always add a third one, or just return this one and get a third one. Since it's from Amazon, they're pretty good with that. And we'll go from there. So let's get this onto the tank. Now for the light, I actually did 3D print this little slot here, as you can see. This is actually just going to go on the side of the tank back here, and that's going to help with mounting the light. That way it's pretty stable once I put the light on. And I'll get a closer shot of that here in just a second. So as far as the light, we're just going to clamp this onto that block that I made. And we are going to move this over to where I need it. So something like that. Just keep it simple. Now taking a closer look at it before we turn it on. Now you can see right here, I did 3D print that little block for the light to clamp onto, and then it just comes up and over. And we'll see if that's enough. And these are pretty easy to adjust, so I can go lower or higher if I need to. So let's get them plugged in and take a look what it all looks like when it's completed. Now as you can see here, the lights are all plugged in. They're on a 12-hour timer. The tank light is still on, but once this comes on, obviously they'll be offset. So this light, once I fix the timer for it, will offset with the refugium light. So the refugium light will only be on at night. And that hopefully will give enough light to the mangroves. Like I said, there are 2 bars. They have some red spectrum. I can turn them away from the wall, turn them towards the wall, move them up and down if I need to. But it's a pretty simple solution if you want to add mangroves to a smaller tank. But we will see how they grow down the road. I did add an extra one, so there are 4 in here. And like I said, if they're not doing well, it's pretty easy. I can just slide this out and put them in the main display and let them grow a little bit better, and then see if I can acclimate them back to this tank. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, and happy reefing. Cheers.